Hi, this is Mark News from Plant Talk Radio. Thanks for subscribing and listening to our podcast, Your Gardening Questions from Plant Talk Radio. If you have a gardening question you'd like our host Fred Howard to answer, send him an email. The email address is fred@planttalkradio.com. Now for today's question. Fred always gives me a little cheat sheet. He writes down his plant of the week and things in color and the to-do list and things like that. But there's one on here that has me a little puzzled, so I'm just going to let you explain it. It says gray and fuzzy.
Well,
and I assume you're not talking about your pate.
No, I'm not. Okay. However, that would fit. But no, I'm actually
mine too. Actually, yeah.
We're talking about the hot time of year, brilliant sun, and all the things that we expect from summer, as long as they're low humidity. But in any event, the gray-leafed plants, those that are fuzzy on either the top or bottom or both surfaces, those that have a glossy appearance, frequently are the plants that will handle the dry heat of summer. Some of these things will actually be in what we'll call the herb books, where they come from a Mediterranean type climate. That's what those folks expect all the time. And it's a plant's trickery. Well, I don't know how to explain this. Plants can't think. But over time, the ones that have the gray and fuzzy and sometimes shiny leaves will reflect light and or let's just say, as what's left on my pate does dissipate the amount of sun that comes down a little bit. And those are the plants that will also be something that you want to consider. I have I just started to say it and my mind went blank. Dusty Miller.
Yeah. There
are several forms of Dusty Miller, shape-wise, that is, and actually a couple of different plants that are extremely gray. They do have a flower. When I pinch them back to make them shorter and fatter, I usually just sacrifice the flowers. I don't even remember when the last time I saw one. The gray is really such as this morning, where I picked up an extra half hour of visuals in the yard by having the chartreuse, the very light gold, yellows, and then also the grays. They stand out, and then they are the kinds of plants that if you're in a hurry to water and you can't get everything done, they're the ones, if you skip them for a week, they'll probably be okay. They may lose a little luster, but they're genetically predisposed for handling this kind of thing. So along with annuals, this is where the things like the Dusty Miller and portulaca, my mind has just closed down on a list. But at the same time, those are the plants that are used to being sunburned, and it really suits them well.
Yeah, I have, I think it's called, and I'm going to rely on you here, a Weigela.
Yes.
Has the fuzzy leaves, and it's in bright, brilliant sun.
Now that
no, oh boy.
Well, no, it may be. Now, Weigela is a standard shrub. It does take everything summer can push out here, in Ohio, and more for that matter. I don't think of it as fuzzy leaf though.
Well, that's kind of, they feel kind of fuzzy.
Well, no,
to me.
That's right,
yeah.
And they would not be a barren leaf. Let's put it that way. However,
they get the big white seed or flower pods on them in the spring. Or am I talking about a different plant?
Yeah, I think, Mark, we're talking about two plants. However, there are some shrubs. Weigela is a standard plant. It's one of Grandma's plants, and it has been genetically improved by the breeders now. There's short ones and fat ones and deep reds and light reds and red foliaged and so on. So it's a terrific plant, but I don't picture it as the fuzzy leaf. And that... I'll stop by for a cold one someday and we'll see what it is.
Hey, sounds good to me. Hey, thanks again for listening to our podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our other podcasts as well, the Plant of the Week podcast and the Plant Talk Radio podcast, all on iTunes or your favorite podcast player. If you'd like to sponsor a daily podcast, contact us at fred@planttalkradio.com. To find out more about Fred Hauer and Plant Talk Radio, visit our website, planttalkradio.com.
This is Michelle Wilson, host of the Business Inspires podcast from the Tri-Village Chamber Partnership. To run a successful business, you need resources, valuable connections, and community recognition. In each episode of the Business Inspires podcast, we talk with small business community leaders who will inspire you to create the business you are envisioning. The Business Inspires podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, your Alexa device, and your favorite podcast player.
Circle270media.com.